We continue to track Dorian, which has just been upgraded to a Category 5 storm. Yes, you are looking at that correctly. With the 8 a.m. advisory, the Bahamas bracing for its impact. We are still under a tropical storm watch in Broward County and a warning for Palm Beach County.
The powerful Category 5 hurricane ready to pound the Bahamas. This, a live look at Marsh Harbor, which is already getting some of the wind and rain right there. We have Janice Fernandez standing by live. We will hear from her in moments.
I want to wish you good morning again from South Florida. I'm Nikki Mohan.
I'm Clay Ferrero. Thank you for waking up with us this morning. We knew that this storm was powerful and dangerous. Yep. It's a Category 5 now. It just kind of reinforces just how dangerous it is.
That's right. We knew the waters were warm and the system was slow. Tracking it all for us, we have Luke Doris in this morning joining Brandon Orr in the Weather Authority Center. Good morning again, guys.
Yeah, we're going to start with this 8 a.m. advisory. Winds have been bumped up to 160 miles per hour. Hurricane hunters flew through there and found some stronger winds, some lower pressure as well, so they upgraded it to a Category 5 storm. The movement has not changed at all morning long, actually. Still moving to the west at 8 miles per hour. So it's not showing signs of that big slowdown that we're expecting, nearly to a crawl as it moves into the northwestern Bahamas, but we do expect that to change. This is the latest track from 5 a.m. because they don't update the track at 8 a.m. They just update the intensity. So when you see a Category 4 storm here towards the Bahamas, likely needed to bump that up to a Category 5. This will be updated during the 11 o'clock advisory coming out within the next few hours. But they do expect it to make a very slow crawl turn to the north eventually, but we are now back into the cone. They shifted it a little bit farther to the south and west after overnight computer model runs, still showing some slight uncertainty. And of course, we have a lot of uncertainty when we have a Category 5 storm that slows to a crawl and is expected to make such a sharp turn. These are fine details that are nearly impossible to predict down to an exact point. And that's the thing. Small, minor adjustments of even 15, 20 miles has big impacts on our local weather with this storm system. So tropical storm watches are now in place through Broward County. The watch in place for Palm Beach County has been upgraded to a warning. No watches, no warnings in effect for Miami-Dade or the Keys, but that does not mean that you're not going to get effects from this storm. We could still even see tropical storm force gusts in those rain bands, even down towards Miami-Dade and even up towards the Upper Keys in places like Key Largo. Here's a closer look at this Category 5 storm that is nearly exactly symmetrical. Moving towards Marsh Harbor, it will likely make landfall there. We are just showing you live pictures of there where the rain is starting to come down heavier now, and you're going to see those winds picking up dramatically in this next hour as the rain bands really start to move in. This is the radar out of the Bahamas, and you can see Marsh Harbor here and this outer rain band just about to move in, getting some hurricane force winds in this band and those Category 5 winds in this outer eye wall. So this is making a direct impact towards Marsh Harbor and then eventually over towards Grand Bahama and Freeport. Latest advisory, there's the winds of 160. There's that movement west at 8 miles per hour. We're going to watch this one closely, Luke, because any minor change, we're talking about going from, wind gusts of about 40, 50, which is what we're expecting right now in those outer rain bands, to much higher just off our coast.
Yeah, it all depends on just how close to us Dorian gets. So that was the upgrade to Category 5, one big piece of news from this morning. The other one is as of the 5 a.m. advisory, it's the 5 and the 11s where they adjust the cone. And the 5 a.m. advisory brought us a cone adjustment, and that was about 50 miles further south than it was when you went to bed last night. So it was cutting right through West Palm Beach. That was the southern fringe of it. Now it's down here, 50 miles right over the central part of Broward County. Well, why did that happen? Okay, let's talk about that because it's too close for comfort, and we are still on alert here in South Florida. So here's Monday afternoon. The models here tend to basically agree that it all runs westward or maybe slightly west-northwest, and then as we get to, we'll say, Monday evening and Tuesday, it's looking to take that hard right, and it makes that turn northward, and it becomes a concern toward the southeast all the way up to Cape Canaveral. Notice some of the models do still have a Florida landfall, but most of them just offshore. What we don't see here is the European model. You've heard us talk a lot about that. It's within some of those as a consensus, a blend of them all. But if you isolate it, this is what we see, and this stands out to us. The models are all well north up here with the general blend that you see, but the European has an eye down here. And this is also about 50 miles further west than the run that we had from last night. So these run several times a day, and the most recent one much further west and is still wanting to hold south. So this has been a pesky trend. And because of that, it's closer to South Florida, and because of that, we would feel more of it. It does still have, even the European, taking that northward hard turn. The question is just how late will it be before that happens? Will it be Monday evening? Will it be Tuesday? How long is it going to meander around the Bahamas? All questions that are unknowable at this point. This is the inherent uncertainty with the slow-moving storm. So again, kind of highlighting the problem. What does that mean for us? Well, if it were to remain far enough north, let's say toward the center part of the cone, then we wouldn't really feel all that much from it. But the latest trends moving it further south, and thus we get wrapped in the envelope of the outer edge of the storm, and we get tropical storm force wind gusts if that were to occur. Also, we do have the cone where the eye could potentially be dips all the way down to Broward County. So we don't see any guidance that points to a landfall, but there is a lot of uncertainty. So we're not going to pull anything off the table. Potential wind gusts really pick up Monday and Tuesday. So today is a prep day. If you've put up your shutters, that's a good thing. If you've done any preparation, that's not bad. We get into the next couple of days, it really does pick up. Here's the bottom line. South Florida's not out of the woods. The strongest winds are going to be on Monday and Tuesday. Wind damage is certainly possible, and we could see flooding with this as well as we see that close approach to close comfort from Hurricane Dorian. Okay, guys, back to you.